Hi, my name is Scott Vickers, and I own TCP Catering. TCP Catering actually started a few years after the chicken place opened by my parents in 1979 in a little town called Marlin, southeast of Waco. Catering evolved out of that, and I decided to follow along in those footsteps, and we opened the chicken place here in Watauga on Rufe Snow Drive in 2010, and the catering naturally kind of evolved out of that building, and we have another facility right here behind the chicken place where we now produce all of our catered events from. So we are family business through and through, and been in business, 43 years. We bought this lot over here. Basically, we were chasing family. I lived in Houston prior to living here. Worked in some nice restaurants there, and figured at some point that what mom and dad had going wasn't such a bad thing. And we looked around Houston where I was living, and for a place maybe to build what we wound up building here. We looked around Georgetown, North Austin area. We got a family there. And then my two sisters at the time were living here, and I say here, one, both in the North Richland Hills area. And anyway, we looked around here, stumbled on this lot. It was a little bigger, it was priced right, and we had what we thought was more lot than what we needed. But I'm glad we did, because it gave us the space to have this other building back here, because the catering took off like it did. My wife's not going to like this, because we apparently had been on a diet, but I haven't been participating quite as much. But I still eat at least one chicken tender every day, and unless I'm if I'm out of town somewhere else or something. But otherwise, I eat one just without fail every day. We sell gobs of chicken tenders. The fried chicken on the bone is fantastic too. We cut all of our own chicken in-house, something nobody does anymore. Not any of the big guys. Even a lot of the small guys are buying chicken that's already cut. All of our chicken is brined, so marinated, which helps it to retain moisture. And cutting the chicken fresh every single day. So we cut every day for what we're going to use that day. And what that translates to is just a better product, because we've got control over how we cut it, from one. The pre-cut chicken tends to come in when they're running them through a mill as fast as they can. This is just not quite as nice as what it is when you're doing it yourself, and a little more work that way. But you ever buy some chicken or something at the store, raw chicken at the grocery store, you watch it's already cut up, you stick it in your fridge, let it sit there for a couple of days, and the meat kind of starts to just dry out and draw up off the bone a little bit. Whenever it's cut fresh that morning, it stays good and plump, and you don't have a chance for all of that the natural moisture to just evaporate out of it. So ultimately, just I think makes it a little bit better. Yeah, as we're sitting here, one of my deliveries is pulling up right now. So Farmland Produce, and they specialize in fresh produce here, and are as timely and nice of people as can be. They're a little smaller family-owned company. We do buy from some of the big distributors as well, but predominantly all of our chicken does come in, fresh and not frozen. We get between all of our distributors 6 or 8 deliveries a week. So just about every day there's somebody coming by here bringing something. Bass Ham is one of our distributors for chicken, and while they are much bigger than somebody like Farmland Produce, they're still a locally owned, medium-sized distributor. TCP Catering serves all sorts of events. The low and the high is really pretty far apart. A lot of our business was rooted in serving, and still is, in serving the likes of churches and schools and nonprofits. But along with that, we do service a lot of corporate events and quite a few weddings. We are fortunate coming out of all the recent times to be right back in the swing of things, and we're of all the small and big events combined, servicing just north of 1,000 events a year out of this location too. We serve all sorts of budgets, and even some catered items that come out of the restaurant. But our catering menus at tcpcatering.com show you that there's a whole lot more to it than just fried chicken. We're really started off as a fried chicken place that had this little catering company, and we've kind of turned into a catering company that now has a fried chicken place. We are a full service caterer, generally speaking. I guess the definition of catering is pretty loose. You can be any restaurant can say that they also cater, but our services are generally going to include some staffing, some service. There's bussing of tables, and we offer several styles of plateware. Actually, right behind me here, that as informal as styrofoam plates, more glorified drop-off service, up through the works of nicer premium disposable plates, even into China. So, all in the same week, we may have chicken tenders for a car dealership dropped off on a Saturday. In the same day, we could have center cut filet mignon cooked on site with crab cake served tableside on China plates. So, there's lots to be had, and we work again. I said we work with all sorts of budgets too. So, and it takes all of them to make the wheels spin. At the end of 2010, I believe, that end of 2010, first of 2011, somewhere in there, and I went down to knocking on doors to Burville ISD, and went in there and gave them my pitch, told them who I was and everything. Walked out of there thinking these guys are never going to call me, but a few years down the road, there was a day that we had all of our events for the next few days that were posted up on the wall there in the kitchen. There were 8 or 10 different events that were up there, and I was able to connect the dots. There was something with Burville ISD, which is kind of where some of it all started. But I was able to connect the dots from there to North Richland Hills Baptist Church, to the Southern Baptist of Texas Convention, to just on and on and on to a wedding that was up there too. And so, it was interesting to see how that kind of just organically grew. Dad used to say that, if you cater enough for schools and churches, which are generally people that you want to work for, because they're always generally going to be very nice to work with. You cater enough for them, eventually somebody got a daughter getting married too. And it's just interesting to see how it really is just all connected. We don't really advertise much. And so that puts more importance on us to make sure that every time we go out, we're putting our best foot forward, because you never know who's watching. And so many of our events come from somebody having attended another event that we catered, and now they have something that they need catered to. For TCP Catering, it's just tcpcatering.com, and it's at TCP Catering. You can find out on Facebook, Instagram. And for the restaurant, is thechickenplacetx.com. There you can see menus and pricing. You can order online. You can order directly through any of the delivery services right from our website too. The chicken place is open 7 days a week, so call ahead, come by, dine in, drive through, order takeout, all of that. For catering, generally starts with an email or a phone call. We're not always in this building because we're frequently out catering other people's events, and so we can always set events up over the phone or email. But if you'd like to come by and meet in person, we're more than happy to do that too. I just call ahead and make an appointment. So 817-889-4TCP, which is 4827. We'd be glad to meet with any of you.